Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 11 now and has autism. So I started painting with him a few years ago, working on his fine motor skills. And we do a hand over hand method working on the backgrounds of our paintings. And then I paint the rest. So, depending on the day, the night, what's happened, how everything's going, I paint different things. And so today's been a bit of a emotional journey, I suppose. And so I'm painting some angel wings. I lost my brother not quite 2 years ago, and that has completely changed my life. Grief is a beast, I can tell you that. And so a lot of times I paint with emotions. More so, I guess, on some nights than others. And tonight, I'm sure you can hear, well, maybe you can't, but if you can hear the racket in the background, or I guess it's not really racket, but noise in the background, that is the fireworks. So we've had numerous ones, and they keep going and going. This is, I think, like the third night of them, fourth night. So we'll probably have them again. There's numerous cities around, and so they're all over the place, I suppose. But that's what's out there. So, when I first started painting, I painted a lot more finger paints, I suppose. And then I stopped doing it as much. But when I'm doing something like this, that's a complete background, well, for the section, I tend to kind of finger paint. And it's actually quite soothing. And this part, well, if you've watched any of my other paintings, you know that I don't completely have straight painting to begin with. But this part isn't that I can't even talk, I can't even think. I'm tired tonight. It's going to be covered. That's what I'm trying to say. This is going to be covered, so it doesn't matter. And I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight. A lot of times with my angel wings, I use like a little motion and do just kind of like random lines all over the place. But with this, I'm going to do a little bit more. I've done flowers before with the angel wings, but I'm going to do a little bit more flowers. And so this is what I say. It doesn't really matter where the creamy part is. I just kind of did that so that if I don't cover it all, it'll be okay. I just kind of randomly am gonna put some flowers and some leaves. And if the cream goes places, it goes places. Wherever it goes, it goes. And wherever the leaves go, and they will probably be covered up or added to or changed, so it's all good. We just kind of randomly do stuff, and if they mix together, we see. It all works out in the wash. And if it doesn't, we just keep going until it does, because that's okay. It's okay. Oh, I'm making a mess. Not that I can't make any more mess. I've been making paint, I call it paint blobs, paint blob jewelry and different things. This is the colors I'm using tonight. But these are, this is a magnet. This is one of the first ones I did. I've got tons of extra glue on it. But this is the paint blob. I take the paint sheets. They're like, this is the one I used last night, and I spread out the extra paint, and I have my sunflower one, and it dries for a couple of days, and then I go back in and I make the paint blobs. I've got jewelry, some rings, and some different things. So now I'm gonna, this is gonna mix in the flowers, and this is why I say it doesn't matter, because they're gonna kind of go everywhere, and the cream will just kind of be part of the shading as we go along here. Oh, I keep jumping with the fireworks. I like seeing the fireworks, but my son goes to bed early, and I would rather I'd rather look at him than hear him, because I jump every time the fireworks go off. But I always think they're so pretty. Oh, we must be on like round 2 or 3 or something, because they're starting, like I thought they had kind of slowed down a little bit, but the answer is no. They are back. They are back in full force. I don't know if anybody else jumps with fireworks, but I'm like, I love them. They're beautiful, but I can't help it. I jump. I jump. So, I grew up in Florida, and Florida has a lot of the beaches and the tropical colors and everything. And so when I was thinking about this background, it kind of made me think of the tropical colors. And so that's how I ended up on these colors. And Alexa, stop. I was like, what noise is that? I thought it was the fireworks at first, but I forgot that she was making noise. So I've got a few other. Sometimes I debate whether I want to use brighter colors or less bright, I guess. And see, I'm technically maybe gonna cover most of the cream up. So when I paint flowers, you'll notice that I am just picking up lots of colors, and I tend to use only one brush. When I started painting with Owen, I really don't have any technical training, or, I just started painting with him. And so it's really just kind of more about like my emotions and what we're dealing with and how the day is going and everything else in between. So I am I'm that person that likes to watch paint dry, and I've said this before. And so I like watching how paint interacts with each other and what happens and everything. So I have no problem using one paintbrush with way too much paint on it just to see what happens. And good, bad, or indifferent, we go for it. And that's where we're at with this. And so we just gotta go and do. And when I paint with Owen, so that's why I say we I put a lot of like, sometimes the backgrounds are actually more, even though it's like looks like a solid color, I'll put several colors on one on the canvas, so when he brushes them, helps me, go back and forth with that. Then he talks about the different colors and things. So each one of them are kind of a little bit different. And that's why I said it doesn't matter where I put them, I'm gonna end up covering them somehow, some way. So it's all good in the neighborhood. And I could probably like continue this one, but I'm gonna put a peachy-ish color down there. Trying not to, not that it really matters as to where the like colors end up, but just like make it a little bit different on each side. And again, it doesn't technically matter because all the colors blend together, but that's what I'm doing. It sounds calm again, but I'm ready for it to take off again. So and like I said, it doesn't, if I cover something up, it's okay because we can adjust, and I like the mushiness of them sometimes. Sometimes I paint and I don't want anything touching each other, like when I'll paint the other flowers or whatever. Everything has to have its own stem, everything has to be separate. And then there's other times where everything's a mess. It's all chaos. Everything has something on top of it. And that's just the way it is. So we just go with the flow. And sometimes things look more like flowers than other ones, and that's okay as well. I am not the most realistic painter. I just kind of paint with my heart and let it go. In the sense of like you can tell it looks kind of like a flower. It's almost more of like, some things I do are a little more abstract than others, but it just depends on the day, I suppose, and how messy I feel or how neat and organized I am. I laugh at that part because there's nothing really neat or organized about me, but I can pretend. I'm going to stretch this one out a little bit. I said I didn't really care if all the cream was covered, but I've pretty much covered all the cream, so I'm going to stretch out some of that. Then go back and add some of the green. And then technically it doesn't even really look like wings that much anymore, but I paint a lot of wings, so, Once my brother passed away, I think my heart was just more into trying to find ways to heal and deal with the sorrow and the grief and the expectations of how your life changes. it's such a strange thing, because I didn't get to see my brother very often because we didn't live in the same area, but he was a phone call away, a text away. He would come anytime that I needed him to come for whatever reason, or just to hear that um uh brotherly advice. I laugh because we had that sub. I can never say. I have problems with S's, and so I have to always think really hard before I say sibling rivalry. See, that just gets me all tongue tied. But I know that he would do anything for me, has done anything for me, and will do. Well, would have done anything for me. So it's hard. But we gotta keep moving forward. So that's where we're at. This looked like it wanted to run away. Sometimes because I use so much. Oh, I dropped my paintbrush. I do that a lot. I drop my paintbrush. So I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about that. But I always sign. Oh, I got a little fluffy. I always sign O for Owen, and then L and B. And he's so much part of the story because he's like the foundation, the background of everything with this. And so that's where it's at. Kind of just, he's part of it. He's part of the journey. I'm sitting here trying to decide. A lot of times I take and I'll take this and I'll hit the brush, and it kind of gives a spray on this. And so I'm trying to decide. I've got it all over me. No big deal, because I wear like smock clothes and different things, so I have stuff all over me. But I was trying to decide if I wanted to spray it everywhere or if I wanted to leave it. And so that's like, I feel like it's plenty busy. It's just whether I want to add the extra little dots everywhere. So I'm trying to visualize what it would look like with the little dots. Because it kind of still looks like wings, but it doesn't look like wings. So we're going for it. Do not hesitate, because guess what? You can do something else different later. And see, this is also why I have so many paints all over me all the time. Because I do this. Yep, it's going flying. It's probably like on the camera, but that's sometimes doing things like this is what brings the joy, it just you gotta laugh, you gotta keep moving forward, you gotta find the things that you can think about with your loved one that just brings the laughter and the joy into your life. Because believe me, I cry a lot and I get emotional. And Owen talks about Uncle Richard all the time. He just loved him. So we miss him. We miss him. So you can visit my website, which is sweetbabyo.com, to see other things that we've painted together. And you can also look at our autism journey on there. I write every day about our journey, and so that's on there. And you can also, if you have Facebook, you can visit my Facebook, which is Sweet Baby O again, and Sweet Baby O Designs for a lot of our artwork. So now I'm just kind of spreading out the blobs. This one color that I have is very thick. The weather changes the way the paints are sometimes, depending on the brand and depending on what it is. But there we go. I'm gonna just kind of add in a little bit here so it goes everywhere. But that's what we do. And then I'll make more paint blobs. So there we go. Messy as we come. I can put some more swirls. I kind of added some more of the blue over to the peachy colors. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Toodles!